and he said, you know, like if I had the opportunity to allow them via permits to work,
That should be non-negotiable. That's a non-negotiable thing.
no, go back.
Yes.
Go back.
Of the 118 billion
So
proposed.
the proposed bill is
Looking
asking
at
for a $118 billion spend.
$118 billion spent.
Bro, 60 billion in Ukraine, bro.
Exactly.
So 60
billion to Ukraine.
How much to the border?
20. Yo.
What up?
I wanted to catch these guys en sorpresa. They're doing the one rule against Unplugged. They're planning.
Not planning, outlining.
They are planning or outlining Unplugged. You know what Unplugged is, bro?
All right.
Desconectado.
So,
My hat looks good, Josh?
Oh my God.
These guys, they messed up the last week.
God.
Does my hat look okay, Josh?
Oh my God.
I could trust you.
okay.
Can we start there?
You want to know the truth?
Let's start there.
I think it would look really, really good in my fireplace.
Oh, but next to it?
Fireplace.
No, in the fireplace.
Wait a
like,
minute.
With
While-
the fireplace on.
With the fireplace on?
With the fireplace
You
on.
don't like the Niners?
I mean, I'm not against the
You
Niners.
don't like
I
my
just-
Hibaro hat, bro?
Oh my
This is my.
Maybe it's just because it says Frisco on it. You know.
It says Frisco.
Well, you know.
I'm gonna die.
Anyway,
So let's talk about
go,
the
Chiefs.
Super Bowl that you haven't won yet.
how you celebrating before?
I mean, when this goes live, it'll be after.
It'll be
That
after.
is
So
true.
let's start the
That
show
is true.
doing a couple things, right? Yo, Rob, enfócame te tigre. We're gonna do two things.
Oh shit, Rob.
We're probably
be
gonna do
careful.
more than two.
So
but we'll
since
start with
this
two.
Super Bowl, since this is obviously pre-recorded, right, and the Super
my
Bowl
beverage.
is in
just a couple of days
few
away.
days away, right? Go Niners, go Chiefs, right? Whoever.
Hey,
I'm a
hey,
Jets
hey,
fan. I'm a
hey.
Jets fan.
I'm a
just
Jet
saying.
fan, so I could care less.
But I will say this. Let's do a couple things, right?
I'm
Let's
wearing
focus
grays.
on you. Give us a 10-second bid, like if you just won the Super Bowl. Like, let me see how Reyes will react
Oh,
on
damn.
Sunday at, let's call it 10 p.m. Let's say Super Bowl's over. The finals, the minutes
I'm
are
a
gone.
fan or
you're
I'm a
you're
fan?
Rafael Reyes.
yeah,
Can I
you
jump
are
on
you.
that table right there? Or?
I mean,
Rob, is it all right? I'm disrespecting the studio,
I don't
Rob.
think- I don't
you
think
recommend it?
Maybe we're putting you on the spot too
Yo,
much.
I don't want to break anything.
But what do you think about the Super Bowl? Let's start there, man.
Listen,
So this is pre-recorded, obviously. Let's go Niners.
so
Yes.
tell us how you feel about Patrick Mahomes beating you guys in the Super Bowl.
Oh my God. Oh, so he's acting like it happened. All right.
all right.
How
so,
does it feel, man?
all right,
I'm
audience.
gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna make my prediction right now. So whoever has boxes, it's gonna be
I
it.
want to hear
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna say 24-17 Chiefs. I want the Niners to win, but I think 24-17.
It's crazy
Chiefs.
because I actually think 27-14 Chiefs.
All right, 24-17.
Yeah.
But I want the Niners to win. I'm gonna be rooting for the. I'm a Jets fan.
I'm gonna
but
watch it. I'm not. I was gonna go to your house and watch.
You
it.
are
I'm
coming
not
to my
going
house.
anymore.
But
that's bad vibe. Good vibes only.
Good vibes
bro.
only. But I was
That's
saying
bad vibes.
I don't
bad vibes. Bad.
I don't
vibes.
like the whole Taylor Swift shit that the NFL got going on.
I
So
agree.
I like Mahomes, Kelsey, Taylor Swift, can't fucking stand. But that's another story.
Damn, bro.
I'm going for the
Tell
Niners.
them why you mad at Taylor Swift.
I
What
don't-
she
I
do
don't-
to
Poor
you?
girl ain't
I
do
don't wanna go
nothing,
there.
man.
I
All
don't
she
wanna-
does is
I don't want-
put out content.
Bangers after bangers. We'll probably lose
ain't
the
gonna
whole
lie, man. I danced
Swifties
to
for
some
that
Taylor
comment.
Swift
So
shit in the
somebody
shower once in a
counteract
while.
that comment because the Swifties will
Taylor, I like you.
They will
he
fucking-
does not. I like you.
they will
Taylor.
sue
I'm all
us
right with
if
that.
we don't.
I'm okay.
If
with
we
that,
don't like
Taylor.
Taylor Swift, the Swifties will sue us, bro.
All right, so
And
let
they'll
me
win.
tell you. Let me tell you what's gonna happen.
All right, let's go.
You want to tell me what's gonna happen? All right, here's what's gonna happen. Here's what we need to do to win the game. We need to keep Mahomes off the field.
Yeah,
All right, we need
defense
to,
wins games.
We need to control the line of scrimmage.
3 and outs.
Correct. Give the ball to my RB who knows
But you
how
see,
to
like,
who knows how to just
I like Pacheco.
bam bam bam. No, Pacheco's
I
gonna
like
go
Pacheco,
down.
bro.
All right, so we control the line of scrimmage, keep Mahomes off the field. All right. If our QB can just play within himself, don't throw off his back foot, nice little flanks, we'll be okay. We just gotta control the clock.
Okay.
If we do that, we win the Super Bowl.
I mean, the Niners should just win just for the ridiculousness of your fucking Hibaro hat coming in here today.
You don't like my Hibaro hat?
I think
bro?
it's fire,
This is
actually.
cultural,
I'm actually
dog.
hating, bro.
I actually do like the hat.
I'm
You
hating.
like the hat? This is
I mean,
cool.
it looked
This
better
is
in
cool.
green.
It should have been like a Jets logo on there. It would have been
look,
fire.
It would look much better in green and white.
bro.
You know?
It is actually
It
a
is
really
not-
fire
yeah.
hat.
And it does.
How much you paid for
It does
it?
wonders on the beach.
How much
too.
you paid for
Yeah.
it?
I don't know. I think it was a gift.
From who?
I think it was a gift from a friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice,
Okay.
actually.
It is
It
nice.
is
Look
nice.
at the bottom.
Look
bro.
at the attention to detail.
Yeah, it's very nice. So yeah, I mean, listen, we'll talk about this after, and I'm either gonna be gigged on in the next episode,
Right.
or I'm gonna be praised.
I mean, look.
Not praised.
From
I'm gonna say like, yo, rap,
from
congrats.
two very como I'm gonna say it in Spanish, sufrido Jet fans.
Oh yeah, suffering Jet fans.
I wouldn't be talking
Suffering
about
Jet
Bro.
fans. Yeah.
I hope you win.
I
It'd be
appreciate
nice for the Niners to win. I because look, Mahomes I like, but he's won the last few years, so the Niners winning would be nice. I like that.
Listen,
I like
man,
that.
Niners,
so let's
baby.
see.
Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go.
All right, so the industry,
I'm excited. Should I still go to your house and watch the game or what, man?
It's up to
Because I don't
you,
know,
bro.
man.
Good vibes
Good
only.
vibes.
Good vibes only.
I'm
Good
telling you,
vibes
I'm
only.
rooting for the
I
fucking
know,
Niners,
dude, but you're
bro.
talking about Mahomes a lot. You're talking about.
I like
You know what I'm saying?
Mahomes, bro.
You like.
All right, let's go. What up, yo, Josh? What you got today, bro? Because Josh came into the studio today talking about Unplugged was gonna get on fire because he had mad shit that he was gonna drop. I was like, yo, chill, take it easy. I've already had 2 drinks.
Josh
Relax.
is known to be controversial too,
Josh
man.
is
Let
controversial.
me get on my P's and Q's here.
Well, no, I definitely think that there's a lot going on that we need to touch
Damn,
on.
he got mad serious too, real
well, I
quick,
mean,
bro.
It's important, right? There's just a lot going on everywhere, and I think it's not. We're not spending enough time. Not we, us. I mean, just in general. I think everyone needs to be talking about the things that are going on, and not just talking about like what's going on, but how do we get to a better place, right?
What are we talking about?
Exactly,
Okay,
bro.
well,
Yeah, what's going
so,
on, bro?
so,
the 49ers
okay.
are gonna win the Super Bowl.
All right, so one of the things I definitely want to touch on, I guess, right, which is still a relevant topic, is the migrant situation, right? And the things that are happening, right? And now the governor of New York City, the governor of New York City, the mayor of New York City, excuse me.
Mayor Adams.
Rob, can you fix that? Thank you. The mayor of New York City, Mayor Adams, proposing a $53 million bill to give money, right, to migrants in this city. And I just want to get your thoughts on how do you guys feel about that as taxpayers?
Why does Josh come in here?
Yeah, he makes things very tense, man.
Unplugged.
Very
We
tense.
talking about good vibes only, and he wants to like drop.
Now, you know what? I got very upset, bro, because he brings up a good point. And he you know,
He didn't bring
like,
up a point.
he's
He
stirring
posed
up.
the question.
Yeah, no, but it's true though, bro. Like we're giving $500 in things. And then here's the thing that really bothers me is that they beat up some cops.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable, bro.
They get apprehended. Okay, they
But
go in front of the judge.
That bond law was
they go
was
in front of the
Blasio.
judge, and they let these guys go. The next thing you know, they're on a bus
Or Coco?
to
Cashless bill
So
system you're
let's
talking
just
about,
say
right?
here's the deal. Let's just say they would have gotten $500 gift cards from us, right? They beat up our law enforcement who was there to keep them safe. They take this $500 gift card that we've given them. They get on a bus to California. They go out there and they hurt, or God forbid, you know, these obviously not good people, right? And it's just like,
All right,
where
but
does it
let's
stop?
But let's
bro?
be careful there.
Where does it stop?
Let's be careful there.
What do you mean?
When
bro?
you say they're not good people, right? Like,
well, that
Not-
specific
yeah, we're
group.
not-
Right,
yeah,
right,
no,
we're
no,
not
no,
talking
yes,
about-
yes.
We're not
Absolutely.
talking about like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
migrant.
But the
Right.
folks
Yeah.
Very
that
important.
those
beat up-
specific people.
Yeah,
right?
like-
those like 5 dudes that
My point is,
Stomp the
look,
guy out.
like they said it in the Constitution. Give me, you're poor, you're tired, you're
weak, you're hungered
you're
masses.
weak, you're hungered
It's-
masses.
that's not that's on the Statue of Liberty.
What statute? Whatever.
It's all good.
I'm
Not the
sorry. dude. I'm
Constitution.
not.
It's
I'm not
not-
as.
it's all
but
good.
What I'm saying is that
We could
is
talk
that-
about the Constitution. if
is
you
that
want.
we should be
Oh,
given
you
these
wanna talk
folks are
about
coming here for
Second Amendment shit.
These folks are coming here for opportunity,
right.
right? And I mean, us as a country where this is the land of opportunity, Why are we not trying to find opportunities for all of these people with so much to do?
I'll say this
in the city.
I'll say this.
You follow what I'm saying? Like they could do productive shit.
Look,
here.
I'll say this.
Pardon my language.
I'll say this.
Give him a broom.
I was
clean graffiti.
Hold on. I'll say
you know.
Wait.
God.
I'll say this. Politics is. I fucking hate politics, but I'll say this. I was at a dinner where Adams attended, right? A couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
and he says something about. He touched upon the migrant thing, and he said, you know, like, I think the biggest mistake that we're doing is not allowing them to provide for their families, right? That's what he said.
1,000%.
And he said, you know, like, if I had the opportunity to allow them via permits to work, right, I think we wouldn't be experiencing what we're experiencing.
Oh.
Take that and put it to the side. But I think the issue goes beyond that, right? When people try to politicize the border, when it shouldn't be politicized, like the border should be secured, period, point blank. I don't give a fuck if you're left or right? Yeah. The border should be secured.
That should be non-negotiable. That's a non-negotiable thing.
More than non-negotiable. It
That's
should,
like
it should be common sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
national security.
You have
national security
doors
because
in your house,
and then
because you don't want.
And then let's talk about why. And then here's why, right? Like, and inadvertently, right? I'm not putting you guys on the spot, but inadvertently, we tend to say things in conversation like the one that you just said, which was these people, right? I'm not saying
that was not meant that way.
I understand.
We're not. We don't want to generalize.
And I know that you're not.
I meant specifically.
I know
the
those
group
individuals
that assaulted the police officers.
But the current, but that's not your fault. The current way of things is what leads us into that type of conversation, right? Because there are other powers at B who are going to promote that type of conversation, right? Like these people, those people, they're gonna generate.
Well, here's what I think.
Hold on, before you cut me off.
All right, bro.
I'm gonna get to it, bro.
Please.
I mean, I'm gonna get to it.
I have an idea that I'm just busting at
my point is that the problem goes beyond like Mayor Adams saying, "Oh, let's just allow them to work." No, before we allow them to work, we need to figure out who's coming in and who's not. Right?
Agreed.
So we got to start there because there are a lot of people that do want to come and work. Right? Like a lot of our parents,
of course,
right?
bro.
And grandparents.
I'm all for that.
And it's about creating a system, right? Whether that be a normal immigration policy or people seeking asylum, whatever the case.
We have that already. We have that already. That like it's already in place.
No, but it's broken.
I have a theory.
It's not working.
I have a theory.
It's not working.
It's not.
I have a
not
theory.
working.
We don't have a.
I have a theory.
We have a legal immigration system.
We do.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Here's the theory, Josh. Hold that.
Okay.
Because the theory is this. The theory is
this unplugged is becoming way too serious.
This is designed to be this way.
Oh,
okay.
It's designed for chaos,
Rob,
to distract,
throw some side effects there.
To cause division,
okay,
to anger,
all right, that's
to bring.
Okay.
Bro, why would you? This is all common sense. It doesn't take three guys who are not about politics, who are not. I'm not in law enforcement. I don't know how to control a border.
We don't have all the information.
What do you mean, bro?
I don't
it's
know,
freaking
bro.
simple.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go into the.
But go ahead, Josh.
Well, no, I mean, because there's other things. There's other things that I want to talk about on this Unplugged, right? I want to.
It's your show, bro.
Right. Well, it's not. It's our show.
No,
right?
no, but
there are things. There are important things that we need to talk about, right? I definitely do.
Second Amendment. Let's go.
Well, it's not just the Second Amendment. And even before we get to the Second Amendment, right? Shit. I want you to imagine a world where, let's just say, for example, for argument's sake, you wanted as a consumer, you wanted to go to right across the border, right? Go
Tijuana.
So no. You want to go to New Jersey.
Okay.
Right. You want to go to New Jersey. You're crossing the border of the states, right? So I want to purchase something in New Jersey. Let's just say, for example, I want to go purchase a car, and I found a better price, a better deal in New Jersey. Right across the bridge, right? I cross the G-Dubs, right? 10 minutes from us. I go over there. I go purchase a car. I come back. I register in New York. I do everything else that I need to do following the law. And as far as everyone else is concerned, right? That doesn't seem like that difficult to do, right? And it also doesn't seem like I did anything illegal, right? So now I am going to bring in the Second Amendment, the two-way argument for a moment, because what New York State is proposing now is making it
tell
illegal.
Our listeners what the Second Amendment is. Well, just for those that don't know, it's like me.
For those that don't know, okay. So for those that don't know, the Second Amendment is your right to keep and bear arms, right? And the way I like to phrase it is actually, at least for me, it's not just a right; it's actually your duty. It's your responsibility as an American citizen. It should be, but. Nevertheless, right? Nevertheless,
don't go near Josh's house. You will get sniped.
Well, I live in New York, so it's a little bit more difficult, right?
Hey, I'm sure you got a right.
So let's just say that now what they're making it illegal, or what they're proposing to make it illegal, right, is if I cross state lines to purchase something legally, purchase ammunition legally, now I become a felon because I purchased out of state.
That's crazy.
Okay. All right, so hold on, because you kind of you threw me off with the car thing.
So that's why I used the car initially, right? Because what's the difference between purchasing ammunition and purchasing a car?
So hold on. You're a New York. You're a legal New York resident.
I am. Last time I checked,
right? And you have the right to bear arms, right? So you in the Constitution, the Second Amendment, you can bear arms, right? Mm-hmm. So you own a legal firearm,
correct,
in the state of New York. Yet, if you go to New Jersey, which in your case is like 3 minutes away, right? Or like very close.
I'm closer to Connecticut than New Jersey.
Or Connecticut. Yes. Let's use Connecticut. And you go to Connecticut and buy ammunition for your legal arm.
Mm-hmm. So I purchased legal ammunition for my legal firearm.
In a different state.
In a different state.
But because your legal firearm is registered in New York State.
And I'm a resident of New York State. And I'm bringing the ammunition back to New York State.
But you're talking, let's just say.
You're now.
Well, I have a question.
According to the law that they're trying to
at New York
propose.
State. So like, let's just say, quote unquote, obviously if you go there, buy it, come back, you don't get caught, you're fine. So now let's just say,
but that doesn't mean just because you didn't get caught doesn't mean you didn't break the law.
I get it. Right, so my point to you is this though. Yeah. So this is only if you get caught in New York with the ammo or the
the way they're proposing it is, right, you don't have to get caught with the ammo. And who doesn't use their car? They can look at They can look at your purchase history.
That's pretty.
They can look at your purchase history.
That's clever.
And see where you bought.
Clever. Right? Like, hey, buddy, we know you bought that a year ago. Come on.
And they're actually also proposing that there isn't a grandfather. There isn't a grandfather if you bought, exactly. There isn't a
go back.
So New York is coming after you. New Jersey's not. Connecticut's not.
No, actually, in New Jersey, it's very similar, and something similar has been actually implemented in California. Going back to California, and thanks to Saint Benitez, right, who is a federal judge in California, he struck down the very same law that California has tried to propose. And I don't want to get into the Ninth Circuit and things like that.
Saint Benitez, Josh, you're very well informed on this stuff.
I mean, I there's a lot of podcasts that I follow that cover this stuff, right? But it's just
should we check on Josh, man? Like
Josh, my boy.
He's looking into stuff that we should be worried about.
Josh is my dude.
I'm busting your chops, bro. I love you, Josh.
No.
Listen. I love it.
Yeah, I love learning from people. At least for me, right? We need to bring light to the things that are being implemented behind the scenes, right? I think the government is oftentimes they're like magicians, right? Where they're telling you to look this way,
right.
And while you're looking this way, there's something else happening where you're not paying attention.
Josh, are we going back to?
So hold on, because now that you say that, I read something that. It just kind of it's aligned with what you're talking about now, right? Like and taking it away from the gun argument, because I understand. I mean, it's insane.
It's a very divisive.
I agree.
Divisive
no, but
topic.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with you actually, because they're talking about something that's a hot topic right now. President Biden went on national TV, I think before yesterday, I'm not sure when, and he said, the border protection, the border protection,
the border bill.
Oh, that's next up. Is not going through because Donald Trump is lobbying against it. Right?
Okay, so
and I'm not saying I'm a Trump or supporter or Biden supporter. What I'm saying is that I saw someone who dissected the proposed bill.
I have it here. I have the whole breakdown.
All right,
because it is something that I want to talk about.
I defer
speaking
to
of
Josh
these
on
magicians,
that,
right?
Josh
so
knows.
speaking about these magicians,
so hold on, but let me,
go ahead.
I'm gonna let you.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna let you get into it because Josh is like a kid at a
'Cause
candy store.
this is
he's
important.
But hold
happy.
on.
He's
But
excited. He's pumped.
so the issue, and I'll reiterate. So it's like we want to pass this border protection law bill, but they are trying to block it. Specifically, Donald Trump is trying to block it because
They blocked it already, I think.
Well, no.
They're in the they're trying to block it. It hasn't been blocked yet.
It's not favorable to him politically. That's the argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have other people who say, well, you're calling it the border protection bill,
which I'm going to get into. So pause there.
but it isn't because, and now I'll kick it off.
So,
to Josh.
so before I get into that, indulge me for 30 seconds, right? This is also happened. Think about it, right? Because we started talking about the Super Bowl, and it's no wonder that this is all happening during Super Bowl week because these magicians are trying to use distractions.
But bro, that's what I was just talking about.
Exactly.
And you like don't be a conspiracy.
So again,
conspiracy theory guy. I'm with Josh on this.
So
with me all
check
the
this
time,
out.
bro.
This
I'm
quote
telling you
unquote
the truth.
border bill, right? To protect the border. This
With you, brother.
$118 billion bill, right? Actually,
es un cuartazo ahí, ¿oíste?
When you actually look at the bill and you break it down where the funds are going, let's just talk about the amount of funds going towards the border.
It's
right?
going to pork bellies.
About approximately of the $118 billion, only about $20 billion is going towards the border.
Wow.
Another.
Wait, no, go back. Of
the $118 billion proposed.
So the proposed bill is
Looking
asking
at
for a $118 billion spend.
$118 billion spend.
Bro, $60 billion in Ukraine, bro.
Exactly.
So $60
billion to Ukraine.
How much to the border?
20
billion.
20 to the border. And
So
then
not
I
even
heard
a
something
fifth.
about the military. How much to the military?
So for the military, it was 14 billion to Israel as well, right? Another 4.8 billion to help the Pacific region. The Pacific region, many of which are U.S. citizens that were impacted by the fires that happened in the Pacific. So these are actually people that contributed to the system.
If we're in the street, but I like facts.
Right.
So let me take my calculator out.
Right.
118 billion.
Now, Josh, you looked this up?
I'm looking at the numbers right now. The
I
breakdown.
know.
So 118 billion, right?
Yeah, 118 billion.
Let's break it down for me.
So 60 billion to Ukraine. So half of the money, more than half the money going to Ukraine.
All right.
That's a fucking.
So 118.
And this is the Biden administration, by the way.
Yo. All right. So 60 billion to Ukraine.
60 billion.
So a couple decimal points above half.
Half.
Right?
Yep.
So 60 billion to Ukraine.
Another 14.1 to Israel.
14 for Israel.
Another 4.83 billion again for Indo-Pacific region, right?
Okay.
What is that exactly?
So
that's got to be Taiwan, probably.
No, so it's not just not just Taiwan.
Well, I think maybe that has to do with the ship routes and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that region, right? There's another 10 billion as a humanitarian effort for
Gaza.
for Ukraine, Israel, and Gaza.
So more money for Ukraine.
More money for Ukraine, more money for Israel, and then some of it's also going to Gaza.
That's like 85 billion already between Ukraine and
another
Israel.
2.3 billion for the refugee crisis in the United States.
Okay.
So another
so for
2.3
the immigrants,
for exactly
for the
illegal immigrants, right? And then another 20 billion for improving the U.S. border security,
okay,
right? And then 2.7 billion for the uranium enrichment.
Okay. So and how much you said was for the border?
20 billion.
20 billion.
You got like a total of $22 billion going towards our migrant crisis.
Well,
really.
no. Not only that.
Out of 118 billion.
I think you're missing the point. So we're talking about almost $90 billion of the $118 billion.
Your tax dollars, my tax dollars.
Are for things not related to border security.
Correct.
Yeah, I just inverted your thing.
No. But I think Josh's point is the magicians, as he calls them, are calling it the border security bill.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason for that. So if you look at all those numbers Josh threw, I think the highest number is Ukraine, 60 billion.
Not including how other parts are going to Ukraine.
What's the highest without not including? What's the highest amount?
Ukraine, 60 billion.
60 billion. So
more than half.
Logic would say if more than 50% of the funds being proposed in the bill, what should the bill be called, Reyes?
It should be a rescue fund for another country.
Yeah, the Ukraine Rescue Fund, amongst other things.
Amongst other things, yeah.
But they're calling the amount of money being appropriated to the border is the least, but yet they're calling the bill. What are they calling the bill?
The border
protection,
border protection bill.
And I'm not trying to get political
here.
This I'm not trying to get political.
But
this happens often,
bro.
Right?
That happens all the time.
It's the stuff that they do, right? It's the diversion stuff. It's not, and like I said, it wasn't a conspiracy. It's the truth. They divert, they distract, and I'm not trying to be. And I think it happens on both sides. We just gotta
we gotta stop being careful in the street.
Something wrong with my hair over here.
No, you're good.
Well, I think. Do I have anything going on with my hair?
No, your hair
really
looks beautiful,
upset
man.
Your hair like my hair?
Your hair looks beautiful.
Fix your collar, bro.
Yeah.
My collar?
Yeah.
Inside joke.
No, but the truth is this, though, man. Like, we really gotta be, like, why are we sitting here and asleep at the wheel while all this is taking place?
I don't
and
think
it's
we are
our
asleep
tax
at the wheel,
dollars.
though.
Like, how do we? I mean, the Bidens were. And again, I'm not voting for Biden or against Biden or for Trump. I'm just about the facts.
Declare who you voting for. We in the street, bro. Let's do it.
I think we got time for that.
I'm not voting for anybody. Yeah. I've never voted.
I think
I've never voted. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never voted.
Oh, really?
It's just a never. Everybody would expect
you're
me to vote.
You're part of the
right?
problem, bro.
Nah, bro. New York always goes left.
Well, but that's the thing.
It always goes left.
It's because
not
people
a popular
like you
vote.
think like that.
No, it's
it's
not a popular vote.
That's why we need more people.
I don't even want to get in there.
I don't.
Brother,
anyway, that's a topic for. Let's talk about that in October, November when it's time for.
So,
time for that.
and I don't unplug. I mean,
but is it true? Am I wrong or right?
You're wrong.
I would say you're totally wrong.
You're totally wrong.
So
because you don't vote,
is it not electoral votes or not?
It is.
Okay, and is
based on majority.
Okay, based on majority. Okay, so how often does New York go?
It doesn't.
But you know why it doesn't?
99.
Because people in your position, in your situation, right? That have
what if everyone that thought like you said, you know what? This time around, let me just fucking vote. Let's look at what those numbers look like.
If it's a smaller spread, then yes, but it's never a small spread.
But we don't have the data as to how many of you there are. The only way we get
and I would say there are probably a lot of people that think like you, that think that their vote don't matter.
I'm in the middle. I'm a centrist, right? I'm a centrist, and I'm about facts.
Believe it or not,
I'm a centrist. I'm in the middle. I am about.
I consider myself to be a capitalist, bro. Fuck all y'all.
But capitalist, no, I'm a capitalist too. But I think you could be a capitalist centrist and you could be a capitalist left.
Let's not politicize the show. Let's not politicize the show.
It's too late for that for this episode.
Well, no, and I think it's great. Like I think that we're here to speak our.
Yeah, damn. I'm sorry. I took it that way.
No. I meant that in.
Don't be sorry.
I meant that in a good way. And you gotta stop saying sorry, bro. I think we're gonna have to give him a fucking contract because in the contract it'll tell you don't apologize for what you say, bro.
Yeah.
You in the street, we talking
like.
Está bien, pero que ustedes están don't politicize.
No. I mean, look. At the end of the day, these are political topics, right?
Yo, Rob, what do you think?
Rob, I need your help,
Rob.
Stand up for me, Rob.
Rob don't want to get in on this one. He's like, nope, you ain't gonna catch me today. Okay.
So all right. Look, without politicizing the show, right? But I think it's very important for everyone to be able to express their minds without the thought of being canceled. Because that's what happens, right? Like that's why you say sorry. Happen. You shouldn't say sorry, right? Like, we should be able to express our thoughts. I think that when you I love my sister-in-law, by the way. One of my sister-in-laws, and we always bump heads, right? Because politics become like choosing sides, right?
Okay.
I think when we have the conversations of politics as citizens, we shouldn't have to be corralled into choosing a side, right? I can make a comment that is in favor of the right, and I can make a comment that is in favor of the left, and that should be okay. I shouldn't be forced to choose or pick a side,
yeah.
Because that's when they win. And when I say they, I mean right and the left, because at the end of the day, those guys are having dinners together while we're down here fighting. I think that's the point. They're in control together, and they want to portray like this divisiveness, right? And that I think that is what keeps us blind. Like I think that's the how do you say the
horse's blinders
in English? Well, that is English, but
I thought I was speaking English.
No, I meant like the blinders on, the goggles. Like, you know, that's what they want to do. They want to divide us, right? While they're up there at the top. Whoever's on top, they're both privy to shit that we're not.
I mean, they're doing a really good job at keeping us divided.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, right? Don't get me wrong. There is a humanitarian issue, right?
There is.
And
that should be addressed.
And I think, and I'm almost certain I've said this before. We need to do a better job as a country of taking care of our neighbors and helping to improve our neighbors, right?
Let's go away from what else you got for Unplugged, Josh? Let's go away from politics because we're about to go final thoughts.
We are.
Oh, this shit was full politics?
No. So I think something
we're not
else.
Going final thoughts yet.
No,
yeah,
okay,
I don't think we have time to get into anything else. Really.
What are you talking about?
How much time we got? You said final thoughts.
No. We're not at final thoughts yet.
I'm the producer here, bro.
So
me and Rob.
All right.
Rob will give me a sign. Rob will give me a sign.
Was what else is going on that you want to talk about? Is there anything that you want to talk about?
Because I want to talk about something. I want to talk about something.
Good.
I want to talk about something. I'm a sports guy, so I wanted to talk something sports related.
Perfect.
But sports in the past has been known to play a big role in politics, right? Like if you go back to like Olympics with like when the Olympics were in Germany, right? Like and all this, right? Like they tend to be
influential.
Right, very influential. Like we currently have the Serie de Caribe going on, which is like the
gotta check that out. How's that going?
It's going good. Like, well, the Dominican Republic made it to the finals.
Let's go, baby.
Woot.
Who they playing against? Who they playing against?
I think Curacao is in the finals. Venezuela's in the finals.
I gotta catch that, man.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say, but I know DR made it last night.
Go.
But so like it got me to think like, oh, you know, like there was a time during the series where Cuba couldn't participate, right? And like now they could participate, right? Like so just how everyday life gets politicized. Like sports should be the outlet, right? Like it gets sold out as the outlet. Like we're talking about the Super Bowl, right? Like it's the let's step away from politics and everyday life. Let's pay attention for 2-3 hours. Let's focus on this game here, right? Like, and then
should be the outlet, is what you
should be the outlet, right?
Okay.
But we live in a world where today, right, everything's politicized. My question to you guys is, when could you go back to a time where things weren't as political, or is it because we're adults in this era and now we politicize everything, or were they just as politicized before and just we weren't looking at them the same way?
I think I would say that. I think it's
right
because we were younger. Maybe we were even a little naive.
Right.
We didn't really look at sports as political as it is, and I think it's always been that way, or at least has been that way from before any of us were even walking this earth.
Right.
I think you've seen over time, even going back to some of the greats, right? Like Muhammad Ali, right? Who was very political. Exactly.
Right.
So I think sports and politics have always kind of played a role.
I think everything Hollywood, sports,
right? And
politics.
And just this week, right? They were talking about they were interviewing Kyrie Irving. For those that know me, Kyrie. I'm also a suffering Brooklyn Net fan,
wow.
Right? And
take you to a game.
Kyrie. We talked about that. I'm still waiting for my
Reyes has courtside.
So I heard
Net seats, and he's a Knicks fan. So when the Nets and Knicks played the other day in his courtside seats, these guys like rooting for like, let's go Knicks.
Yo, it was.
I mean, the Knicks are hot right now. But so one of the things that, as a Net fan, I can't say that I'm very fond of Kyrie, but he did say something this week when they were in town that had me thinking, right? And one of the things that he said was, when questioned about his time with the Brooklyn Nets, was things went the way they went. I'm paraphrasing, because there were more important things going on, right? When it comes to like the politics and COVID vaccine
was a big thing, right?
And things like that, right?
He was
the
one
vaccine.
Of those, like, big
he was anti-vax.
He was labeled anti-vax.
The timing was
so.
Was, yeah.
I mean, look, I think sports and politics to wrap up your point.
He had a whole thing with he said something that was taken to be anti-Semitic as well, right?
He did.
Right.
Well, he commented on a movie.
On like a movie, right?
On a movie that was anti-Semitic,
right.
And there was some other stuff that he said.
We live in a world where like you got to be careful.
But I think politics is everywhere, and everything is politicized. Everything.
I think the difference now versus when we were children is that when we were kids, only the really number one people did not speak out as much. Right now, the person who's
they don't have a
they didn't have a forum. They didn't have a forum, but the
Mm.
people who really were radical in their ideas and did the most flamboyant things and did the most controversial things got the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Now, kind of everybody gets the platform
with YouTube. Everyone has a platform,
and you kind of live in whatever bubble you want to live in, right? So and now the algorithms push
will feed
whatever bubble you want to live in.
Yep.
So if you know, I don't know, Josh, I don't want to label you, but let's just say you're a gun enthusiast. And,
so you just labeled me. You didn't want to, but you did. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
He
you
called
did.
You,
Go
he
ahead.
called
Okay.
you a gun nut, and this is gonna get pretty. Now let's go.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a step back.
Josh, I hope you don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me.
Please.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
Oh wow.
But not. But Josh, what I'm saying is that
First
you
of all,
get targeted.
Josh is a Marine.
I know, bro. That's why I'm afraid.
No, don't be afraid, bro. We're good. We're family, bro.
I'm about to say your job. It's a joke. People, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Put your San Francisco hat back on, bro.
Why he sweating now?
What I'm saying is
Rob,
that
we need one of the sweat tissues.
Now, what I'm saying is that you get fed the same stuff, right? So you're gonna continue to get fed these things, and now they're just classifying us and putting us in different buckets, and we're gonna continue to. That's gonna get deeper and deeper into our brain, and ultimately we just believe what we constantly see.
Yes,
right? That becomes fact.
But I also find I intentionally look at opposing point of view so I can get a better understanding.
But not everybody's like that, though.
No,
Josh.
not every.
Most people are not like that.
Because I do consider myself to be a centrist, so I do try to get a better understanding of why people think differently. Like, for example, oftentimes, like, especially when I was in school, I would intentionally take classes of opposing views of my own just so I could get a better understanding of others. And to be honest, know your enemy. So I would want, not necessarily that I looked at people
even
like
back
enemies,
then, that man was in a sniper mode.
I want to make sure, like, I want to, like, for example, I would take a lot of like socialist classes because I want to understand like why people why people were socialists in a capitalist society, or at least what I thought was a capitalist society. Right, because I don't think we live in one anymore.
That's another conversation.
Ultimately, look,
another episode.
I think we got to be very mindful of what we allow to enter our mind, and our ecosystem. How we like to interact with ourselves and with other people, because ultimately, if we had the same view like you have, where you are really seeking to understand the other side, ultimately we would be in a better place. That's the bottom line. Like, we got to seek to understand versus saying, I want this, I need to work in this best interest of this group or myself or whatever. And that's what creates the bigger problem.
Let's go final thoughts. Because this unplugged got really unplugged. Like, we're off the fucking network.
I think Josh might just put me
way
on
off the rails.
I thought, I was like, we started with the Niners. Let's see if they win. And then
we went all over the place.
And then we took it real quick. We went into like a fucking full blown. I know we wanted to talk a little bit about government overreach. I know we wanted to talk about the CMS proposal,
which we
didn't.
I know
you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Maybe we got a couple minutes. I think Rob gave me the nod.
Because
we started late and the time is probably like we got like another 10 minutes. So, so let's talk about that. So, and this is kind of like a little bit industry specific, but CMS is the federal agency called the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. So they're kind of like the overseers of and this should be of
federally
interest to
funded
everybody.
insurance programs.
But which Medicare is one of them, right? And but then they also oversee state Medicaid.
Correct.
Not all states offer Medicaid, but that CMS, that government agency, is the one who oversees the states that do, right?
Well, every state offers Medicaid, but not every state calls it Medicaid. They call it by different names. You could fact check if you want.
We can fact check, but I don't think every state offers Medicaid. But okay.
Well, Rob,
I know
Not every
Husky
state offers Medicaid. I mean, isn't Medicaid like
every
don't we
state
pay
offers
into that
Medicaid.
stuff?
Not every state calls it Medicaid. Some states call it by a different name.
Medicare.
Oh, Medicare.
Medicare. All right.
Got it.
Basically, Medicaid is state funded insurance.
Medicaid.
Yeah,
State
Yeah,
funded
got
insurance.
it. Got it.
Okay. All right. So every state offers it.
My bad, guys.
Quote
I'm
unquote.
telling
I don't
you.
think that's true.
We'll fact check.
I'll admit if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But
I
talking
won't.
about that,
I ain't never been. wrong.
CMS is a federal agency, and
Correct.
as federal agencies, right? They are allowed to, they're allowed to set the rule,
Implement rules.
implement rules,
Right.
right? There is a proposed rule,
Okay.
right, that I think Josh wanted to get into,
Well,
a little bit.
I think it's something that we should cover
I think we should.
for our own industry, right? It's an industry that it impacts a lot of us on the show, right? Where they're imposing or proposing implementing a rule.
Can I talk about the proposed
Go ahead.
rule?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
You go into it. So in essence, the proposed rule I think is like about 80 something pages, right? Like
Yeah.
like any government document, there's a lot in
A lot
there.
longer than it needs to be.
Right. And there are rules that they're imposing rules to like the specific carriers who offer Medicare Advantage. So the United Healthcares of the world, Aetna's of the world, Humana's of the world, etc. And then there are rules pertaining to like brokers, right? Like people who sell Medicare
Or
Advantage
field
plans.
marketing organizations.
Field marketing
Yeah.
organizations.
That's what you would be considered, right?
That's what we are.
That's where we are.
Okay.
And then there are other rules. I think most of the rules are for carriers, and they
Correct.
talk about how a carrier should care for a Medicare beneficiary. So, like, if you're on Medicare, they want to kind of set the parameters as to if Rafael's on Medicare, here's what Rafael should be getting. Right?
Minimum
because at the end
standard.
of the day,
Basically, they're setting like a baseline.
a baseline.
Exactly.
Right. Because at the end of the day, it's federal funds that
Got it.
you're using.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we created this option.
Now, how much gets allotted for this?
So in essence,
Is it equally
Now,
in the
that's-
state? Is it
man,
based
that's
on
a
population?
whole other
Is it-
episode.
But
There's
as
a lot that
quickly as
goes
I
into
could
it.
say,
Yeah.
when you age into Medicare, remember you're paying for Medicare all your working life, right?
Got it.
So if you look at your
See,
pay
that's what I
stub,
thought. Like I was like,
But if
don't
you
I
look at
pay
your
for
pay-
something?
well,
Like,
if you look at your pay
similar to
stub,
that?
you'll see Medicare and you'll see a deduction,
I
right?
thought that. I thought
You're
you
paying.
said no.
All right.
Can you just tell me I was right there?
You're paying for a portion of Medicare,
A
right?
portion.
Which is you're paying fully for your Part A of Medicare, which is only
Hospital
if you're
coverage.
hospitalized, right? You're paying partially for your medical, which is Part B, which is outpatient medicine, which is most of the medicine. But you
Like when you go to your doctor.
you'll have a premium aside from everything you paid into, aside once you age into Medicare, and then you can't get prescription coverage unless you choose a private plan, right? So the government decided. The government decided.
You guys
hey,
got to look at my stuff.
The government decided, hey,
You're not there yet.
you paid for Medicare all these years, right? In the past, you had only what they called Medicare supplement plans, which was a private plan that you paid additional premiums for to kind of cover the gaps that Medicare had. Then they came up with something called Medicare Advantage, which is it's what they now call Medicare Part C. And all Medicare Part C means is the option that you have as a Medicare beneficiary to choose a private healthcare company to manage your Medicare benefits.
So,
like, let's say-
I thought mortgages were confusing. This is very.
Let's
confusing.
say Rafael Reyes is on Medicare, and Rafael Reyes tells United Healthcare, "Hey, United, I have Medicare. That's a government-sponsored program which I paid for while I worked.
Okay.
But I want you as United Healthcare to manage my Medicare, right?" So then United says, "Okay, Rafael," and they go to the government and they say, "Hey, government, Rafael's Medicare. Give me the money that give me an allotted monthly payment for Rafael, and anything that has to do with Rafael's health care, we're gonna cover. So now
they can't cover everything because they're gonna be in the
well, they have different programs.
Yeah,
they have programs where
it's
depending
varies,
on your level of coverage, they'll cover everything, or based on like you only have Medicare, then they'll compete. It becomes a capitalist market within
a free market,
right?
It's a race to the bottom, right? Like whoever's gonna do it for less.
So or more quality, whatever. So all of that. So most of that, and let's go back to the bill. Most of the proposed bill is of the proposed regulation is based upon
the rule.
Hey, United Healthcare, hey Humana, hey Health First here in New York. Because Rafael is using a government-sponsored program and he's electing to be with you, we're protecting Rafael by letting you know we're not just going to give you this monthly allowance for you to treat Rafael however you want. Here's the minimum base of care that Rafael should be receiving.
Okay.
Right? Which is great.
Yeah, that's fine. I like that, actually.
There's another, which has been the case forever.
Depending on what that level
they're
of
making
care is.
adjustments. They're tweaking.
They're
tweaking the rules.
The case.
Yeah.
They're just tweaking them. But then there's a component regarding what they call field marketing organizations, right?
That's where we come in.
Got it.
The people who sell.
You're selling Humana,
the Medicare Advantage.
Got it.
So they're saying, hey Rafael, hey Rafael, come with Humana. Here's why.
Got it.
Josh is gonna say, hey Rafael, come with United.
Everybody's tugging at you.
And then you have field marketing organizations who can offer you anything.
Got it.
They want to limit the power of the big dogs like a United Healthcare or a Humana that have deeper pockets, who incentivize Ray and Josh
to push them
product,
there. Got it.
Taking away or potentially taking away the
upsell ability. So the ability for Josh to say they want to take away the incentive for Josh to sell plan A over plan B. Here, this is what happened in the mortgage. I had no clue.
Before you finish.
Okay.
But this. No, but let me.
But before you finish,
go ahead.
So
that's exactly what happened.
Here's
in the
what
mortgage
happened.
business.
And I think what we wanted to get to is that here's what happens in government. A lot of times, government looks at things from a very
but bro, what I'm saying. But let me finish. I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt. But this is what happened to us.
Done it twice.
But this is what happened to us in 08.
Right.
It's like you need to do what's better. You cannot.
Finish my point before you go there.
Go ahead.
I know it's gonna tie in.
Go ahead.
When you look at it from with such broad strokes, right? Like, so they're saying, I don't want to incentivize Joshua. I want to take away the ability for a plan to incentivize Josh to sell their plan over the plan that is best for the needs of the Medicare beneficiary, which we are in agreement that it's right, it's correct, right? But but they've taken the regulations so far where they're gonna hurt Joshua, and he is unable to provide resources to those same people that they're trying to help.
Exactly.
Right?
It's what happened.
So it's kind of like you're taking it so far where like, okay, you want to take away the ability for me to choose a plan based on how much money I'm going to make, but you're taking away the compensation to the point where 80% of that money that's going to help fund programs, community offices, pay for rent for mobile units, so that I'm out there in the community so I can get to a Rafael and say, hey, Rafael, here are the options that you have. If you take away that funding, then we can't fund those mobile units, those offices,
those places in the
they're
community.
Destroying your margins.
So
which is
not just that, not margins, but one of the biggest things that one of the biggest services that we provide, right? Community services that we provide is many of the people that are coming to like Ray and I for they're not just coming to us to help them select their plan. They're coming to us for guidance in many other ways and many other forms, right? And oftentimes looking for us for assistance with other like federally funded and state funded programs. They're looking for assistance with those things. And those are the community services that we're providing in these locations that they're talking about. So by not having by taking those funds away, we're not going to have those offices.
Right.
And many people are now going to be lost because they're not going to know where to go to get the information needed for a lot of the state and federal programs that they're eligible for.
Well, even beyond that, like, I mean, I think that as being representatives in the community, like, these families come to you guys for the smallest of things. Like, hey, what, the language barrier, the lack of understanding. Like, I had a hard time understanding the maze as to how this insurance thing works.
On a daily basis,
I'll
tell you, people come to me and they're like, Josh, I got all of this mail.
I just needed
help me sort through it. What's important, what's not. Yeah, exactly.
And I know.
Do I read this?
You've told me, and I think it's important for you to say. Like, I know you told me back in 2008, like, they tried to regulate.
Oh no, it hurt the consumer. At the end of the day, anytime there's government intervention to the degree of, it's not limiting margin. It's not limiting your margins, right? But it's limiting the margins of, to me, the carrier.
Right.
The carrier is saying, this is your standardized price. You can't charge above this and you can't charge below this.
Right. Fair market value.
These are the services you're going to provide based on this price. So now there's no gray area, right? And what happens? There's no competition. And whenever you kill competition is when you kill everything, right? So now Humana has no reason to provide more than United Healthcare. It's just a matter of, what color do I like?
Right.
And who provides maybe better service.
Or network.
Or whatever. So that is a problem, and that is borderline
I mean,
it's a problem. That's not something that should be taking place at all. I think personally, I want a choice.
Well, free like when you kill free market, right? You tend to start monopolizing, right? Like, because
you kill competition,
right? Because when you kill competition, like, it's a form of monopolization, right? Like,
there's less banks. Like, look what happened in 2008.
Right.
20 banks went down.
Right.
They control the market.
Right.
And that's just exactly what takes place.
And
that's what's happening with you guys now. Look, there was no doubt, and I hate to interrupt, but there was no doubt that we needed to be regulated in 2008. Right? Again, it seems like they're going too far with you guys with the healthcare side. And then it goes so far where it ends up hurting the consumer.
More, right? At the end of the day, that's what's getting hurt.
I was doing a deal yesterday, right? And the guy's like, man, so much for an appraisal.
Final thoughts in a few.
I know, so much for an appraisal. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I can't pick an appraiser.
Right. Oh, I remember that story.
Yeah, I can't pick an appraiser. We have to put an intermediary. Guess what? That intermediary has to make money. Why? We don't want to influence. They can't influence values. You can't talk to an appraiser. Guess what? Now that appraisal costs the consumer an extra $200 a month.
Funny story. I'm asking Ralph the other day.
It's like, dude,
I'm looking at houses in a specific area, and Ralph is like, "Oh, I know a buddy of mine who's an appraiser who lives in that area." He says, "Let me just kind of get." He goes, He didn't tell me this at the time, but he's like, "Oh, let me just get a feel for what it is." So Ralph is doing some homework, whatever. So when we get to the point of appraising, the actual appraisal, we didn't have an issue with the appraiser. We kind of did. Like, the appraisal didn't come in at the asking.
Which ended up
helping us, right? But I was like, yo, Reyes, but the fuck? I thought your boy was like an appraiser in the area. He's like, the fuck are you talking about? I can't choose an appraiser. Like,
it's illegal.
It's illegal and I was like, oh shit, that makes a lot of sense. So like, like, those are the little nuances that kind of go on behind the scenes that you're not.
It's good. It's good and bad.
Right.
There's gonna be good and bad with that. But final
thoughts, Reyes, on this very long unplugged. And
how long is this thing?
I want to go back. I think your final thought should be on, like, let's go fucking Niners.
Let's go Niners, right?
Let's go, baby. 49ers.
That's what I would do.
Let's go back to the distraction.
We need to get good here this year, man. I mean, we need this. Listen, final thoughts is ultimately that I think you got a couple of young gentlemen here who are hard workers, who are obviously conscious of what's going on around us.
You're making yourself seem very old. If I was you, my final thoughts would be like, let's go Niners, bro. Like,
that's it.
Fine. You know what?
All right, fine.
Our final thoughts for this unplugged. Let's keep it real. Give me your prediction.
Again, Niners, man. Niners, I got.
Give me a score.
I think it's actually going to be close to what you guys said. Maybe like a 24-17 type
Close game.
Yeah,
so
close game.
24-17 Niners.
Niners, yeah, something like that.
So I had 24-17 Chiefs.
Yeah.
I will say this. I want the Niners to win.
I'm not going to your house anymore. I was going to make you a nice.
I bought
big
mad
CD.
shit, bro. You better come to my house.
Oh, yeah.
Josh.
Well, I didn't get invited to his house.
First of all,
and guess what? I'm not gonna be home. Well, I'm gonna be home, but my Marty won't be home, and the kid won't be home.
So come through. We could go live on Instagram, and I could show how we're there together, so the people know that we are together for Super Bowl.
I think I'm gonna take you up on that offer.
And the battle hat will be in the house.
Do it. Let's
so
do it.
final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
I think it's important.
Rob, you could come too, bro.
Rob, you got to invite.
Right,
I think it's important for us to really start paying attention. I think too many of us are. I mean, it's good to have distractions, but too many distractions lead to our frankly, our government doing things that are not necessarily in our best interest, with the idea that they're doing it for our best interests, and I kind of leave it at that.
All right, so he went government and he didn't go score, but
I said it earlier, 27-14. I'm sorry, Ralph.
Yo, this is Industreet Unplugged, and this shit was really unplugged. We'll catch you next week. We'll see if Rafael Reyes and his Niners.
If he's celebrating,
let's go.
Yo. Before we finish, let's make a quick
go.
little bet. Quick little bet.
Oh, you want to do something?
If the Niners lose,
okay.
If the Niners lose, no.
You'll maybe do something embarrassing on the street.
100%.
I think the viewers should vote on that. Do you guys want me to do something embarrassing?
All right, we'll put a poll up.
Put a poll up.
I mean,
but the thing is,
we can't put a poll up. This is gonna be aired after.
Yeah, we can't put a poll up. So we'll say this now.
See, that's why I like Josh. He's always thinking.
If the Niners win, then we have to come in.
Niners gear.
In what?
Niners attire.
I mean, that's easy. In a Niners jersey, it's not like the Jets are playing, so I could wear a Niners jersey.
That's kind of whack. What were you gonna say?
I don't know. I was gonna like something more embarrassing.
Like?
I don't know.
Well, the clock is still running, so how about we just talk about it off
We'll talk about it, and then we'll do like an Instagram live and talk about the bet.
I like that.
Let's do it.
All right.
We unplugged.
We out.